Hey everyone, I just wanted to send a update on this week's events. This is the last week of February and we have a few classes that we're offering that I think could really help change the game for you. So this video was supposed to go out earlier today and for some reason I didn't set it up correctly. And so Leticia's class that was today is over. Now, in this email, you're going to get the link to the recording, so feel free to watch it. She does an amazing job, and it's just another way that we can teach you guys how to do buyer consultations. So, before I get into what's going on this week, let me talk about what I've been through. So, this week, I guess it was over the weekend, I went to Keller Williams' family reunion. First time I've ever went, 19 years in the business. This was the first time that the stars aligned and I was able to go. It was a madhouse. It was 13,000 agents and we had a blast. Part of what was so great about it is that you get to see everyone from different walks of life. And I looked at a ton of different kinds of agents and all of them are at various success. Which tells me that anybody, if they do the right things, can build a great real estate business. So, we spent the first day doing a social media con, which was fantastic. We had Gary Vaynerchuk, if you know who he is. He kind of just level set everything for us. And then the next 2 days, we went through breakout after breakout on how to grow and build our business and keep our business going. It's not lost on me that a lot of the things that we learned this weekend were things that we have been talking about as a brokerage, as a company for, my goodness, all 19 years that I've been here. It is not lost on me. But what I do realize is that even though we know, even though we have the playbooks and we read them and we say we're going to do all these things in our business, we don't. And that's me included. And I coach other agents. I tell people what they should do, or I coach people on what they should do. And I still found gaps in my business. So if I can find gaps, I know other folks are finding gaps. So nothing was new that we learned. But I will say, I heard it differently. Now, I've heard this saying many, many times, is that you take a class or a program over and over again because it's going to hit you differently, because based off of where your business is at or even where your mindset is at. We say it all the time about Ignite. Take Ignite over and over again because the information will hit you differently. Same thing that happened here. The news, the information, it was nothing new. Other than Gary Vaynerchuk telling us to get off our butts and get to work, it was nothing new. We learned best practices that other agents were doing, and honestly, they weren't that much different than things that we have attempted to do or started doing, and then we decided not to do it. The big difference is, the difference between the people who are talking about it and those of us listening, some of us start projects and don't finish. And some of us get really good intentions and then we're not consistent. The agents that I see that are very successful are the ones that are very consistent in what they do in their business. And that's all walks of life. That is full-time agents, that are agents who are dual career, so I don't think that changes depending on what is in your world. So this week we have three classes technically. So the first two classes today was the buyer consultation. So as your coach, we sit in a room and we try to figure out how can we make sure you guys are armed with the tools that you need. So we would love to have everyone follow us around to all our appointments, but we know that won't happen. It is almost impossible to get so many real estate agents into a room. I can only imagine trying to get them into someone's house to watch a consultation. So we opted for the next best thing. You get to see us do a demo. So Leticia put together a demo for buyer consultations. Last month we did, I think, listing consultations. Next month we'll do listing consultations again. So watch the video. I've added the recording. Watch the video so you can see another way that someone does a consultation. I will tell you, I never do my consultation the same. I have to ebb and flow with my clients. And every time we have a different consultation demo, you see something different. We don't want you to be carbon copies. What we want you to do is take pieces and hone your craft. Make it your own. We're just kind of giving you guardrails and best practices. Now tomorrow, Mary will be doing the class on the buyer paperwork. That goes hand in hand with the buyer demo. You sat down, had a presentation. Now you want to get this person signed so they become a client to you. If you don't have a buyer agreement, they're not a client. And then on Saturday, we actually have a special treat. We were actually going to run through another transaction again, but we decided to kind of flip it a little bit and do a special. So Shaq McRae, who is our team leader, and Jen Williams, Jen's on his team, actually was a coach in another office. They're actually running a dual career best practices workshop. It's interesting to me. I started off as a dual career agent, so did Shaq, so did Leticia. It took me 10 years to get out of the dual career road. For other people, it's a little bit less. I can tell you from personal experience, it wasn't the office that held me back. It was my own mindset and what I thought I could do. And not to mention, I was just really, really busy. I had to edit and make some changes on how I was going to do my business. So whether you're going to do this business as a second career and you just keep doing dual career like Leticia, or if you're going to evolve into a full-time agent, come to our Straight Outta Compass meeting. I think we can talk brass tactics and what it's going to take for you to grow your business. We all know that everyone decided to become a real estate agent to make some money. There's a reason for you to do that. So we want to give you the tools, the systems, the scripts, and the mindset to be able to hit the goals that you want. So I got 3 classes. So watch the recording that Leticia did. That's going to be on buyer consultations. The buyers are going to be out. The weather is getting better. They're going to be out looking. You want to be prepared. Second class is tomorrow, Thursday, 5:30. Mary's teaching buyer paperwork. She's going to go through the intake form, so what forms you need, and just to make sure you kind of have all your ducks in a row. Remember, we have a great team that does all our contracts, but we still want you to know and be able to interpret the contract. And then our Straight Outta Compass meeting. And just so you guys know, we're calling it Straight Outta Compass because our goal is to get you through your 5 transactions so you can graduate the launch portion. We have other trainings and other coaching opportunities after that. But what we do know is that once you get to the 5, you're well on your way to being a top producer, a capping agent, and hitting the goals that you want to hit. So it's a really good litmus test to kind of get into our coaching program and hit your 5. So, dual career agents, we want you to graduate from Compass Launch as well. So show up on Saturday, 11 to 1, and listen to Shaq and Jen and myself. I'll be there as well. Talk about what best practices, what system, what tools you can take into your business right now to get the return on your investment. So that's all I have for you guys today. I look forward to seeing you guys all the classes, and have a great night.